Hey there, and welcome to Bright Mind, where smart thinking starts here. Whether it's school tips, life skills, or cool facts, we've got you covered. Subscribe, stay curious, and let's build bright minds together. Please leave a comment, stay tuned, share, tag and subscribe to our channel. The wind blew through the rusting zinc roof of the small mud house where Mama Neka sat, wrapping smoked fish in old newspapers to sell at the market. Her eyes, weary but sharp, watched her children do their evening chores. Chisholm, the eldest boy with dreams too big for village life, and Neka, the girl whose voice hummed songs older than her years. Life had changed since Papa died in a construction site accident in Port Harcourt. The village elder said, "A woman without a husband is a tree without shade." But Mama refused to bend. In her heart, she had made a promise to her husband's ghost: her children would go to school, even if she had to sell her bones for fees. The community gave sympathy, but not help. Her late husband's brother, Uncle Motsi Obina, offered to take Chisholm as an apprentice mechanic. "Education is for people with money," he said. But Mama refused. Her decision sparked conflict. Elders accused her of pride, Obina began spreading rumors, and family meetings turned sour. The children began walking 10 kilometers to school, barefoot. Mama took on all jobs, fetching water for others, sweeping compounds, even working at the palm oil press. When she lay down at night, every muscle ached, but her promise stayed unbroken. "No matter what," she whispered into the darkness, "they will know a life better than mine." Mama Neka's efforts bore fruit when Chisholm won a state scholarship to a government secondary school in Enugu. The day of his departure, Mama cooked bitter leaf soup with goat meat, a luxury they hadn't tasted in years. The neighbors came to celebrate, though some whispered that the boy would forget his roots. That night, Mama sat alone on the veranda and wept, not out of sadness, but from the weight of hope. But change has two faces. Motsi Obina, jealous and bitter, went to the village council with lies, that Mama used juju to get the scholarship, that she was selling her body in town. The council summoned her. She went barefoot, wearing her late husband's wrapper, and defended her dignity with fire in her voice. Neka, now 15, began to blossom in both beauty and wisdom. She helped Mama with the market, taught other children at church, and wrote secret poems at night. But one evening, Mama caught her meeting a man, Pastor Is, the new young preacher, who had promised Neka a church scholarship. At first, Mama was relieved. Then she heard the truth from another widow: Pastor Is was laying hands on too many girls. When confronted, he denied it. The church elders believed him, and Mama was called a bitter woman. That night, she told Neka, "Not all who wear collars carry God. And not all men who offer help come without a price." Chisholm returned during his second year in Enugu. Something in him had shifted. He wore jeans and spoke with English bravado. He no longer bowed to elders. He brought home a girl, Ada, from the city, who laughed at village customs and refused to kneel before Mama. Conflict brewed like storm clouds. Chisholm had learned more than physics and literature, he'd learned contempt. Mama begged him to remember their roots, but he snapped, "Education is freedom from backwardness." One night, they argued. Mama slapped him. He left with Ada the next morning, leaving Neka crying and Mama hollow-eyed. Months passed, then the letter came. Chisholm had been arrested, his name tied to a cyber fraud group. Ada had disappeared. Mama traveled to Enugu with borrowed money, stood before police officers in her wrapper and slippers, and begged for her son's release. The officers mocked her, but an older inspector, touched by her story, intervened. Chisholm was bailed, but he couldn't return to school. On the bus ride back, Mama held his hand like a child. That night, she sat under the moon and told the ancestors, "I did what I knew. Forgive me if I failed." Years passed. Chisholm found work as a bricklayer's apprentice and slowly rebuilt his life. Neka won a scholarship to the university through a women's NGO that heard of her poems. She dedicated her first published collection, My Mother's Wrappers, to Mama. On her graduation day, Mama wore a new wrapper gifted by Neka, and for the first time, wore matching beads and shoes. The ceremony was in the city, but her spirit belonged to the village. As Neka gave her speech and cried, Mama too cried, not out of pain, but fulfillment. Back in the village, Mama planted a garden where their old struggles had once been. Motsi Obina, now sick and frail, sent word asking for forgiveness. Mama visited him with palm oil and okpa. He wept and called her Noni di Uchu, a woman of virtue. She forgave him. When she passed years later, the entire village turned out. The church choir sang, the town crier spoke, and Neka read her eulogy beside Chisholm, now a father. On her grave, carved in wood, were the words, "She kept her promise."